Hare Krishna. So in this short video, we'll be showing you some undeniable proofs that the moon landing was actually a hoax. We can go on Google and type moon landing pictures NASA. Okay, let's go on the government NASA web page. So here we are, Apollo 11 gallery. So we've got not many pictures. They've removed a lot actually. So let's download this one. This one. Okay, so now I'll be putting all those pictures into a simple picture editing program, the one that comes with an Apple computer, which is Photos. Okay, so here we have a few pictures. Okay, so one thing we can look at first is, look here. This thing here was supposed to have landed with a retro jet. I don't know how you call it exactly. So while the module would have had to approach the moon, there would have to be this retro jet, that will make it slow down. So that would have pushed a lot of dust and it would have made a burnt area right under the module. But if you look here, it is as clean as it can get. And look, even on the legs are all shiny gold. Why is there no dust at all? And right under here there's absolutely nothing. So that's one thing. Okay, another thing that people could not do back in the days when these pictures were released is to tweak with the pictures. You see, like changing the brightness, the contrast, etc. So in this picture here, you can see if we boost the brightness a little bit and play with the contrast, immediately all these things appear. So these are called artifacts. Artifacts appear in pictures when the pictures have been edited. Okay, so you see all of this here. This is not natural in any sorts of pictures. So I will be showing you another one that is even more prominently showing the editing features than this. So here already, all around the Earth, the so-called Earth, and here the surface of the moon, the horizon, there's so many artifacts showing. Then the one that, so before I show you the masterpiece proofs, here's another thing. Look, here there are two shadows, okay? The two shadows are heading in two different directions, but the only illuminating source that was there at the time was the sun, apparently, that's what they say. So if the sun would have been one, then all shadows would have to be going parallel to one another. But here we can see that they will be crossing. This shadow is going this way and that shadow is going this way. Another thing is this cameraman here, this astronaut shadow, could not have been so sharply defined, you see. That means that there's a source of light right behind him. In other words, there's a spotlight right behind his head that is illuminating. That is not how the sun illuminates. So that's another thing. Now we come to this picture here. So we see the astronaut is getting down from the module, but look at how big the artifacts appear on this picture. So here it's very blatantly shown that here the Earth has been cut from some other place. This side of the picture and that side is obviously not the same black. It is two different blacks that have been pasted on one another. Here, another thing here is you can see the shadows completely cutting. So these are definitely two pictures that have been put together, and the Earth also. So now, okay, but where did they get the Earth, right? Where did they get the nice Earth like this? Maybe they just edited those pictures to make them look nicer for the public. Okay, so let's go. This is a documentary that is called A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon. So if you want, you can watch this documentary. I'll put the link in the description. It shows what is the motivation behind doing such a hoax. So here again they show the module. You see there's absolutely nothing. There's no trace of any engine, any bursts of fire that has burnt the ground or anything. Is completely clean, just like a setup. And also you can see the paws here are very, very clean, just like in a movie shooting ground. Now one thing is this footage here. Look at the flag. You see how the flag is turning around, blowing in the wind? There is not supposed to be any wind on the moon according to them, so how come the flag was blowing? Here again, look at the flag. Okay, so here's the very rare footage. You see, this film of the Apollo 11 mission was produced as a report film by the Manned Spacecraft Center and is not for general public distribution. So here we have the very famous footage of the Earth from the moon. Okay, you see the beautiful Earth, or from the spacecraft, we see it is very round and there's a nice outline shadow there. So how did they get this footage if they did not actually go to the moon? Okay, please listen to this.
The foreground.
Okay, very good. Well, we shut out the sun coming in some of the other windows into the spacecraft, so it's looking through the number one window, and there isn't any reflected light.
The reason this was done is so that the...
So actually what we're seeing here is the window of the space station. They are at the back of the room, the cabin, and what we're seeing is simply the window. So the Earth is much, much bigger, but since it is seen through that round-shaped window, it appears as to be the whole Earth. We can see more clearly here.
What they have ingeniously done is place the cap.
We can see here, so we can see here that it doesn't look so good. So they tried a couple of times to make it appear as if it was really a round Earth floating in space. So they had to tweak, they had to put some cardboard into the window, and finally they managed to make it appear very nice. So here it looks very, very nice. It appears really to be a globe floating in space. So you saw how someone got in front of the window here. Now we're going to see another source of light within the room. They shut down all lights, but somehow or other someone else turned on a small light, and we can see it in the top left corner of the footage. And now, very blatantly, a lot of people are going to be moving in front of the round-shaped window. So from this footage, it starts to be very clear that it's simply a window at the other end of the room. And now they simply turn on the light, and the magic trick is revealed. Another thing is the emotion of the three men who supposedly walked on the moon once they came back to Earth. So they should have achieved the most glorious thing, according to them, to mankind, that to walk on the moon. But look at their expression. So supposedly on July 20, 1969, the first man walked on the moon. So when the entire world was convinced that this was true, it was aired to all TV channels, etc. Our spiritual master, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, was convinced that this was a hoax and that it could not be done.
Yeah, they're linking up in space. When they said they went to the moon, and they showed films of them landing and walking on the moon. Was this all a bluff?
Yes. Clearly. All laboratory work. That's all.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.